The main headline from this meeting between the European Union and the IGAD group is that they will meet in this format annually from now on. They've agreed that these discussions were fruitful enough. They were discussing humanitarian aid going to the region from the European Union, economic partnership, support for the missions that the EU is running, including one countering piracy in the sea off Somalia, also another one operating in Somalia to try and bring peace there, and that all sides felt that it was worth meeting in this context regularly. Now, they also, the European Union endorsed IGAD's attempts to try and put together some sort of peace process for South Sudan. But as I say, these ministers, the ministers from the 7 African countries and the EU will now meet in this context. Again, there wasn't enough time even for a press conference at the end because they talked so much. Now, this all comes off the back of yesterday's discussions on the economic partnership agreement for the East African community. That's an ambition to try and bring down trade tariffs and to open up markets to one another between the EU and the Horn of Africa region. But they've stalled because Burundi was sanctioned by the European Union without, as the East African community sees it, without them being consulted, and that's put a real sort of stick in the mud in those discussions. And also, the East African community is concerned in those economic discussions about Brexit, about what signing an economic deal with the European Union will mean when they don't know what it will mean after the UK leaves the European Union. Clearly, for African businesses and for African governments, they want to know how they'll be able to trade with the United Kingdom after it leaves, even after signing such an EPA. Jack Parrock, CGTN, Brussels.